Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we come to you once again. I pray that you will be glorified in our deeds. Ask that you will bless this city. Help us to follow your guidance. These blessings and others we ask in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, just a couple of items. Okay, do roll call.
District A, Mrs. Angela Catherine. Here. District B, Mr. Charles Bradford.
Here.
District C, Mr. James Green.
Here.
District D, Mr. Derek Green.
Present.
District E, Mr. Howard Locke.
Public comments as they relate to items on the agenda. Louisiana open meeting laws provides that the public has the opportunity to address this board prior to our taking action on an agenda item at today's meeting. Members of the public will be given the opportunity to speak on any item before a vote is taken. You will be afforded 5 minutes to make your comments, and the entire public comment period will be limited to 30 minutes unless an extension is granted. This is not a question and answer session where you can ask questions and demand answers of the board members, mayor, or the city employees. Okay, that takes us to announcements. Beginning next week, I will be posting a vacancy for code enforcement. And, sir? Yes. Okay. The letter was tendered, so that notice, we will be posting a vacancy and reevaluating the department. Also, former Mayor Henry Cotton's memorial service is scheduled for 1 o'clock Sunday at the Bastrop Municipal Center. Are there any other announcements?
No, not an announcement, but I do have a statement that I need to make.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, yesterday on your platform, you made a statement regarding the choice not to attend the press conference for Chris Crowd. It was said that you did not want to use your political position for advancement. Now, you had several candidates there, I was there. The reason I was there is because I had close ties to the family. So it was insinuated that we were there for political reasons when we were not. It's personal reasons. The Crowder family raised my child from birth to 6 years old. So there's no way I was there for political advancement.
Okay, family come in on that too. I was there.
Go ahead.
Let me, I don't know that I know or not, but I'm a Crowder. I'm Crowder, that's my family. I go all the way back to my mayor. Okay. Bobby Jean, great grandmama. Mary Helen, all of us grew up together. They call us Hill people. I am a Crowder. Fat Hill. That's my blood king. I was there talking my blood king. Not for no political reason. Because if I wasn't politically involved, this would have been South like that.
Yes, sir. Anybody else? Okay.
I just want to thank everybody for coming. That is my oldest son, older brother, so I do appreciate everybody who's able to make it yesterday.
Okay. Actually, I did post a video, and it was not aimed at anyone on this panel. No one. So let's be clear that that was not that, for that reason. Everybody has the freedom of choice, but I will not say why I felt the need to say that, but it was not aimed at anyone here.
Okay, and also, I just want to say, sometimes when a community go through adverse conditions, people pull together and support one another. Don't mean it's political. It's because people come together because they care. People hurt. People want answers. And I don't think no one there was for political reasons. I think it was for moral support, family support, and for community support. And I think we as a nation and we as a city, we need to pull together more often, not just in time of tragedies, but we need to be together as one. And so I think everybody that came out, because I was not able to make it, but it was not because of political reasons, I just was out of town. And I just want to say, I think the people came because they genuinely concerned about what's going on in our community. And I think they genuinely care about the family.
Okay. I don't question anybody else's intentions. I can't get in anybody else's head or heart. In reference, as a matter of fact, the very first one that occurred, I went over to the sheriff's office and stood with the family, and I've known the family for many, many years, and I will not call the name out, but however anyone chooses to express themselves, that's the beauty of democracy, and that's the beauty of America.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I was gonna make another announcement for those that didn't know, the United States Representative, Ms. Ledlow, was in town today. I'm not sure what was all the details. I'm not sure if the council knew.
Well, I got a call today because I've been busy working on resolution for a former mayor and still have not finished it. Got to get it to the jury store by a certain time so that it will be ready for Sunday. I got a call today, so I had to rearrange my whole schedule. The chamber was the one that organized it.
I was letting the council know. 'Cause
Sir?
I was letting the council know, I know you was in attendance.
Yes, I was.
No, we didn't know anything about it.
Okay, I just found out that. And the chamber is the one that sent out whatever means. I got a call. All right. Okay, that brings us to all right, special meeting. Has an invocation played now for the comment items on the agenda. Number one, payment of CDA funds for District A. Ms. Tappan?
Yes, ma'am. Every district was allotted $55,000 to do what we saw fit in our district. I chose to help someone in need, that had suffered from a lot of flooding and was living in a pretty bad situation. Well, one of the guys was through with the work and came up here to get payment. He was done with the work and could not get payment. It was told to me that paperwork was missing, so they would not pay this money. I like to stand on what I tell people. So it wasn't a good look for me. It wasn't a good look for the city of Bastrop that we made this man do all this work and he could not get paid. So when I inquired what was wrong with it, because I know before Devin left town, I talked to Devin myself. And I let him know I found the error. And he said it was not the name, it was the amount, we really need to be concerned about. So he left instruction for that to be, the name to be changed, so this man could get payment. So I don't know what led to yesterday's situation.
Go ahead, Mr. Jones.
Hold on, I want to pose this stickless joke. Okay. So piggyback on what Ms. Angela said, as the finance chair, when I called, Ms. Angela spoke with me. She said it was a discrepancy. So I called the clerk. And she was telling me that it was documentation that was needed. As the chairman, I said, what documentation? They said different documentation, but I never got an answer as to what documentation that was missing. So if you say something is missing, obviously you know what's missing. I'm calling as the finance chairman, asking, how can we rectify this problem? I want to know what's missing, but I was never told what was missing. It was just like, this missing, that. What specifically is missing that we need to get to change this to make it right? But I was never given an answer. And I take offense to that because I'm the chairman, and if a council member called and asked me what's going on, I gotta have something to call the attorney and say, hey, something is missing. Well, if you just keep telling me, yeah, something is missing, well, obviously you know what's missing, if it's missing. Obviously something is, if you know what's missing, if you say something is missing. So that just did not sit right with me.
And I was gonna bring it forward with, in line with what Councilperson Ms. Tappan stated. We spoke regarding the discrepancy that there was throughout the agreement. This is a cooperative endeavor agreement. There are several parties. There is Potter's Floors, who's represented by Mr. Jones. There's Terry's Construction, who is identified as contractor 2, which would be a Terry Newsom. And then Mr. Derek Watkins, who is the homeowner of the address. Throughout the agreement, it's correctly referenced. When it came down to the parties signing at the bottom, there's a thing for the people who will receive payment from there. Mr. Terry Newsom was not going to receive payment. He can be paid by the homeowner. And so what we did was when it was put in there, the name was typed in at the bottom to sign Terry Watkins. It should have been Derek Watkins. We realized it as I was leaving out of town last week, and I said, hey, we can edit that or we can scratch through it. I have related that brings it forward to where we get related, it can be scratched through.
So then again, what was the problem?
So,
And like I tried to explain, that Derek Watkins didn't try to come to the payment. It was not him. That was the name that had a discrepancy in it. The Potter, he's the one who tried to come to the payment. His name was totally correct, and he could not get paid.
So somebody told him he tried to come up here to get paid?
He came up here for payment and could not get paid.
The point of information.
but that's where I was bringing it forward to my involvement in this thing. And I will say for the record, I know Ms. Tappan, Mr. J. Green, and I believe it was probably Mr. D. Green, because he messaged me about something. I had a phone issue, plus I was in San Antonio the night before my phone went complete crud, but there was an issue that I did not get back till Wednesday. That's just my apologies. I had not taken vacation with kids and whatnot. And we did, but for the most part, we had that worked out. We had the ability to have it worked out with some things. I do understand the name issue with Mr. Watkins.
That's not represented for payments.
But that's as far as that, I'm just bringing forward my history and involvement there. That's all I can bring is my piece of where I'm at.
So we still don't have an answer why the floor man did not get paid. His name was correct. All his information was correct. Don't tell me about the last Watkins. Watkins didn't come up here.
I'm just bringing the history. I didn't.
So
I was unaware-
what we
unaware
need
of
to
any
do, I
issue.
guess, is straighten this out and make sure this does not happen again. Because I'm gonna do a lot of work in my district, and I cannot have these people not getting paid when they come up here. That's a bad look. I said that in the beginning. A bad look for me, a bad look for the city of Bastrop.
It do make me seem.
And all I want to do is bring to the table what I had done where it was. I don't know past that point. That's.
So that means we can't get any answers. If you don't know, we can't get any answers, because we won't get answers.
What are the procedures? What are the procedures for persons that have been authorized, we have voted on? What are the procedures for those persons to get paid? And
So-
what is it that was not done?
So in this case, the procedure, the requirements in this thing, it's like any contract that you have in any business. They perform something, and as I delineated out, they would present an invoice showing that the work had been done.
That's the person who's getting paid, right?
Correct, Mr. Newsom would present an
We're not
invoice.
concerned about the other name you got.
No.
We're only concerned about the person that was supposed to be paid.
Yes, as it relates to that person is contractor. And if you look underneath it, the duties of what they have to do is down there. It says contractor will perform as follows.
Was that done?
Flooring, and then we'll present
W-9,
the flooring work to
and
us.
a W-9, and he had all of that.
Yeah, and present it to us.
Yes,
Just, and then at that point, the CEA will be signed by that person, because we're making direct payment to them. Witnessed and signed, and the payment be issued theoretically. Now, I don't work in accounts receivable, so I can't tell you how that process is. I can say that that's the point, the payment will be right at that point. To get to the point where you could be paid, present the bill, sign the CEA, we can go from there. And then
What
payment should be right.
procedure was not done?
I do not know what procedure was not done.
he had
As-
all of
as
the,
has been
he had
articulated.
all the pieces, all of them.
As has been articulated here, he had the invoice, he had the W-9. He would, at that point, would just need to sign the CEA and then go from there.
Okay, I got one point of information. I got one point of information. So you said you went out of town Friday,
Yes,
and this problem was kind of rectified Friday before you left. Well, I called this Wednesday, and they was telling me documentation was missing. Well, if you rectified the problem last week, and I was asking and inquiring about what was missing, it don't add up.
I'm unaware of, I know initially there was an issue about providing a W-9, which is a form that you provide so that you can mark off payment and who you can register who it goes to, you can pass payment. I know initially, but when we spoke on Friday, bring chronologically forward, when we spoke on Friday, I spoke with Jay Green, Councilman Green, spoke with Ms. Tappan, I spoke with the administrations, and reiterated to them that, hey, as far as the walk-ins, we'll do the mock through, but that's not what we're talking about today. I was unaware of any documentation at that point, other than, Ms. Dawson had conferred to me, hey, we do need a W-9, and that's just something that I had not thought of, and thinking back, yeah, W-9, that's fine, had a W-9. At that point, her and I had provided what we had talked about was the documentation that was needed at that point.
So I understand all that, so why didn't this man get paid? He presented the invoice, the W-9, he had it all. Why he didn't walk out with a check?
Along with the question she asked, and was answering the process, how much of that, from your standpoint, and when I say your standpoint, legal? Because here we are again, you going outside the realm of legal.
Yeah.
When you get to speaking about the administration. And again, I stated last time, that's how we get misled, because you go from being legal to speak about that, which one you gonna do? So that's why I asked in Ms. Adams' situation, which part is legal? That's the part that you need to answer. And the other part is not legal, need to be spoken on behalf of the administration.
Legally speaking, just the W-9 and this, in the documentation there, the invoice, and then sign the CEO. That's it.
And another point of information, you said about the contract.
Yes.
W-9 and all that. So I'm kind of confused, because now we just hired the guy that does the filming, the new guy. He's not even under contract and we pay him. So, but when we get stuff done in our district, we got to go through hoops and all this. But I'm not understanding. We got a contract. You follow what I'm saying? You said the last time that we paid this man for services done, right? Now, this guy had already done the work, and he just came to get his money. What's the difference between that and the guy that get paid without a contract?
Legally, the difference is that the document you need to be able to cleanse that payment is the cooperative endeavor agreement, which we had a cooperative endeavor, it just needed to be signed. That's the difference. He would also have tendered a W-9 to show where the payment went to for record-keeping purposes.
So for the record, he provided that.
He would provide a W-9.
I say, did he provide it?
I have no clue if he provided that, but legally, they need to provide a W-9 for any person who we're tendering payment to. Now, there's a threshold limit. If you pay somebody under $2,000, there's no necessary need, but on the legal side, for legislative auditor's purposes, it's good to have that W-9 to show where the payment went to.
Devin,
Yes.
we're going all the way around the world, and all we need to do is find out why this guy, Mr. Watkins, did not,
It's Mr. Pollard.
And we're-
Mr. Pollard.
did not get his money.
And we're ready, you got from a legal standpoint. only.
From a legal standpoint, it was good to go, with the exception that Mr. Watkins would need to have his name changed down there to get his payment.
And I apologize, now, Mr. Pollard was supposed to get his money?
Mr. Pollard was
Yeah,
given
but
to the
all
city
I'm
hall.
concerned about,
Yeah.
Mr. Pollard getting his money.
Correct. From the legal standpoint, I gave the opinion that the CEA could either be edited because it was in document format when it was sent, or it could be scratched through where Mr. Watkins' name is, but it wouldn't be a holdup to anybody.
We still gonna.
Well, I'm trying to get
He's
the
answered
legal.
his part,
Yeah, he
so
did.
we need to ask administration why this man was not paid.
Yes, support.
What was the mission?
If the CEA was the holdup, that's what I was giving an answer to. There was a way to fix the bottom of the CEA to make it, to have it legal.
Bottom line, there was no reason that he shouldn't have got paid.
Legally.
Legally, there was no reason his check should have been held up legally.
It's true or false?
What did he, what did he present? If I got a copy of what he presented to, who did he present to the clerk?
It's in our pay, I thought it was in our pay.
I should invoice it, I think, but what did the?
Sir. I got the W-9 from, but I don't have invoices from him.
You know, I had some kids who used to work like that.
I like to see, I like to see what was presented to the clerk.
What was presented to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, for payment. What
Okay,
payment did
the
he
only thing I
present?
have that, he turned in that, his W-9 in that bid form that y'all received.
That's exactly what he presented to the clerk, and that's exactly what he presented to the clerk.
I'm gonna step forward and give it. And there
Now,
was-
this is what the mayor was asking.
It's in the endeavor
It's the second page, red line.
But that does not apply because that man did not come for payment. So we keep talking about the Watkins, we don't need to. We talking about Mr. Potter.
What's the other one? I know what it is, where is it? They gotta match the invoice, you gotta match the name, that's what I'm getting at.
Correct, and it's in there because I looked at this morning, the Secretary of State.
I wanna see, you coming for the city government, asking them to make a payment, I don't have a problem with the payment, but we gotta realize.
Yeah, I like you didn't have a problem making the payment when they paid your people.
My people had all,
Yeah,
they had all
exactly.
required payments. All
Yeah,
required
but
payments. No, Mr. Breen,
no.
I'm just trying to make sure,
You're not gonna hijack what we come here for.
I'm not hijacking anything, Mr. Breen.
No, you're not gonna do that.
Well, I
I
gotta.
understand where you're going, you're right.
I don't know where I'm going.
No,
I just-
go right here, go right
I wanna
here.
see the W-2 form that was presented to the clerk for payment. That's all I ask. And it gotta match the invoice.
But the only thing with that is social security
I mean-
number is on the W-9 and you can't disclose the social security number.
So security number, the W-9.
Yes, sir.
What did he present to you, man? I'm talking to the clerk, what did he present to you, side this invoice?
A W-9.
W-9.
A W-9?
And it will either have, it has a 10 on it, tax identification.
I don't make a
number
W-9, that's
or
why I
social
was
security
security
number.
W-9, because if he presented a W-9 to her, excuse me, and an invoice,
I don't have an invoice, it's a bid, that's what I have right there, that's the
Oh,
exact
okay, so
same
it's not
thing that you
invoice.
had. The exact same thing that you
Well, it's not
had. It says bid on there.
I mean, I'm not hijacking, let me clear this screen, I'm not hijacking anybody. Okay, I'm just asking for the proper documentation, why was it not presented, and why he was not paid. And what he needed to get paid, he needed an invoice, not a bid form, a W-2, a W-9 form, and a copy of the contract. Those are three documents that he needs to receive a payment.
Okay.
And
Let me
I
ask you a
don't,
question. I got a point of information.
sure, please, don't.
Okay, since we gonna talk about this, we got dumpsters over in District D. Where's all the invoices for that?
Now you're going to.
No, we talk about paying people, so we can't apply double standards.
Well, You
I'm asking the question.
Oh, yes.
I'm asking the question.
Yes.
Point of information. Is the document, was it the same documentation? Because we gonna do something uniform, we gonna do it uniform. We ain't gonna pick and choose who we gonna scrutinize and ostracize and make them jump over hoops to get paid. Now, I'm gonna ask again, where is the documentation for the dumpsters over in District B? D, sorry.
Has it been paid?
Yeah, obviously, waste management ain't gonna do
Ain't
nothing
not
unless
gonna
they
come
get
without
paid.
payment.
Well, you mean say we paying people without documentation?
Yeah.
That's another problem. We can't pay people without documentation.
Mayor, can I ask a question, please?
Go ahead, Mr. Law.
Man, we pay waste management what you do. They have
Yes,
all-
sir. Go ahead, Mr. Law.
What are the procedures for people, a person, corporation, whatever? What are the procedures for them to get their money? What procedures do the city administration have for processing payments to individuals? Let's not get too far off that. What are the procedures?
Okay. The difference is this one, Mr. Cabela's test. And the name, and Ms.
What
Austin,
name?
the name, the document, how the name was listed. Ms. Austin is very precise in her method, purchasing procedure. Ms. Austin, if you would speak to the steps of following purchase procedures. And this is the difference here, which yesterday, and I called you, Attorney Jones, you said go a line through the name. I said, okay, to get the check, the attorney says, you do this. It was a bit of confusing because we had three different, we had the homeowner, we had the flooring, and we had somebody else in it.
But the
So,
second person,
Mr.
Mayor, did not present. The second person didn't present, Mayor, only Mr. Potter.
Ms. Austin, would you speak to the,
Yeah, I need to.
I have a point of information before she speaks.
I'm going to complete Mr. Locke's question in reference to what the procedures. Go ahead, Ms. Austin.
But I have a point of information that will add to that.
Okay, Mr. Locke, go ahead, Ms. Austin. The procedures.
If they're ordering something,
Yeah.
we require a purchase order, we require a requisition purchase order, an invoice, and, W-9s.
For persons to be paid.
Yeah.
For the person, for person, it's just other names and stuff, you know, we all make mistakes, and we've done it up here, have to change names around. But I'm just concerned, was that person's proper credentials presented to get his payment?
Yes.
On these CEAs, we need, before the checks are cut, all the signatures are required on this before the payments are made.
I have a point of information. Ms. Austin, did Mr. Watkins present the payment or did Mr. Potter present the payment? Mr. Potter's name was correct. Roderick Jones, that is his legal name. It was correct. His company, he did W-9, so everything was in place for him. The second person on the CEA did not present. So that is not even the issue right now.
That's correct.
Am I allowed to make partial payments without all the proper signatures, Attorney Jones?
I think I'm not gonna say anything.
With the names, because you give all the information, to make sure that I'm clear. On the CEA, it says make a one-time payment to Derek Watkins for $630. But you sent me a text message and said, do not make the payment to Derek Watkins, to make the payment to Terry Nixon. On the CEA, it says at the bottom, Terry Watkins. So I'm confused.
Yeah, and
I
here's,
need clarification.
here's where I think it is, because I've been triaging this since yesterday, whenever I left out of town. I think Ms. Austin had thought that and there was no dialogue between her and I recording, is that if the Watkins party was messed up at the bottom, would it invalidate all the CA? Do we need to recorrect all and have it all re-signed together instead of interconnect? So if it was gonna have to be redone, was it going to have to, could we sign one party of, could we sign two of the three parties and pay that one party who signed? The party, one of the two parties signing is the city, so the city's the payor. And the person being paid is one of the parties, then would we have to do a separate agreement or could we interlineate through it? On the records keeping end, that clarification about could that be done that way?
And you said yes, right?
That question never specifically came to me. I just said, hey, you can interlineate through the Terry and put in Derek, and we can do it that way. I spoke with Ms. Alston, who's indicated that, hey, you know, I spoke with administration, said, hey, Ms. Alston has some concerns about her being the one, because she's the person paying. Don't want to be the one altering the contract and paying.
Correct.
And then when I spoke with Mary yesterday, I said, you can do it. Somebody can do it. Just write through it right there if the concern is that. And then we can do that.
So it could have been done. That's my point.
Yeah, and but to bring it forward, Ms. Alston, she was just in concerns of, it would be two parties of the three sign the contract. Would it still be valid if we had to redo it? I had told her on Friday it could be interlineated through, to take that out if it needed to be. As I was leaving, she said, hey, I don't think it's a good idea if the person who's issuing the payments is also issuing the name.
Correct.
And at that point, it was who could do it.
And you gave instructions to the point of authority, right?
So yesterday I said, hey, if that's the contention, I didn't realize it because I was out of pocket. I said, look, just interlineate through it and put Derek Watkins in there. It'll be fine. But to give you approach, Ms. Alston
Yeah.
voiced a concern that it would be a concern legally. The person altering the name is the person making the payment. Not a good look. And so she did. It was just who's going to interlineate through it and do it.
Point of information, Mr. Jones. So, the problem with this is, when they did the CEA, she contacted the person to do the job. Now, this man got through with this work. It ain't his problem that something was messed up. You gave him the contract. He got a contract to do the work. He come to get paid, and you tell him you can't pay. Now tell me, is that fair or not? This man have done the work, and it's not like he was preparing to do the work. He have put his time and effort into doing the job, and the job is complete. He just shows up for his money. So,
If you want to ask me legally, I understand the legal concerns voiced by Ms. Alston, which are legitimate and legal concerns about a three-party contract. I think now, I understand the concerns of getting a contractor paid, and that's always a grand concern. I understand the concerns of Ms. Tappan with her constituent to make sure this was done, and this is what we work towards to help somebody. Legally, as attorney, I never want to be the person who pulled in for the payment, or what I saw is something, as the CEA delineates, a good thing for her district and for a member of her district that was affected by something. Was there a holdup period? There was. Was there some things that went on? Yes. Do I have all the answers to why or the miscommunication? I don't. I have the legal answers of how it is. I have the concerns of Ms. Alston, which I find to be probably valid legal concerns, that she had questions for me that were resolved yesterday on the phone, where we were able to get on it. Ms. Tappan was here, and I think that there was an unprecedented delay that is something that has not occurred, but that ultimately is something that is, as of yesterday, was able to be cleared out of the way to be able to get done.
Can I ask a question? Has he been paid? Could I just make a suggestion? We can get all night.
Yeah,
First of
let's get it
all,
done.
I think he needs to be paid,
Yeah,
and then there should be a public,
I don't have it.
So it's no
Okay.
problem.
A public apology made to, a public apology coming from this board or whatever.
We didn't do it.
No, we didn't do it, but a public apology needs to be made to this contract.
And just like I will tell you right now, I have no problem telling somebody when there's blame that I'm sorry if it was attributable to.
We got too many conversations going on. We got too many conversations going on. Now, I'm yielding, so I'm waiting till the conversation gets through.
Okay, Ms. Austin, where is that?
Here.
The line drawn through the name.
I hate that we had to come to this point to get this paid.
Well, yesterday, when the line said a check can be off,
If I don't have a special call meeting, that's what you said. Which I agree.
I said,
Yes, sir.
after Devin, Mr. Attorney Jones was on the phone, I said, Ms. Austin can go ahead and cut the check. Or, because she had scheduled to be off today.
Me too.
And, yes. So that after the clarification was done, and Ms. Tappan drew the line through that cleared up some of that. The check could have been cut yesterday. But, that was after we got Devin, Attorney Jones on the phone to get the legal clarity of it, because Ms. Austin does have to follow the procedure.
Can we do
Not
it Monday?
purchasing. We could have done it yesterday, after Attorney Jones said draw a line through the name.
You got it.
And that,
And I just think they hear them out. We just need to get all our ducks in a row. Maybe if one, or if more than one person is doing the job, have separate, maybe CEAs, maybe this won't happen again.
Okay, okay. Okay, listen, who drafted the document? I want to speak to the person who drafted the document. Attorney Jones, you drafted the document?
I drafted the document.
Okay, let me show you another error in this document. Since we give this document. That's District 8, not District B. I want to take that out of my mind. See, I mean, since we corrected the document, I mean,
Oh, that was it.
yeah, they got District B on this, so District A. We all make mistakes, like I said, we all err. But since we're at the correction stage, let's correct it and move forward, pay the gentleman. I got one more person, that sounds like this is a three-party contract, am I saying it right? Okay, if this is a three-party contract, should one check be made with all three parties named on it? Let me finish, you ask one question. With all three parties named on that one check, because you pay Paul, and Paul don't pay Peter, and Peter don't get paid, then it's gonna be back up on city government again. So back when you get, I get housing project, government all. When I do a housing project, the owner have to sign, USDA have to sign, and the contract. And we all name a fee on that check. Everybody has to sign off on that check, all the major officials, nobody get them, if they keep, who do this? I guess. They keep everybody gets paid without them come back to the city.
I get that, but who do the city supposed to pay? You see, that's the issue. It's a 3-4 contract, but the city.
Nobody gotta pay them all.
No, that's what I'm asking.
I think it should be, this is my thought, we just talking. I'm thinking all three party names should appear on that check, and then make sure everybody got their money.
But what,
You got Mr. Watkins, you got Mr. Newsom, you got Mr. Robert, and I don't see an invoice even with a number on it here. We definitely gonna need an invoice for the city government, for the bookkeeper. That's an invoice number on it, but I'm looking at this bid for. But we need to do it right, so we can go ahead and get this in the face.
city supposed to pay? Okay.
We like two different subchapters. And now who pay what?
That's why they don't.
Okay. Okay, well, all this, you guys get paid. You would say, Mr. Watkins, $630 reimbursement. Who reimburses? I'm trying to get
You would issue those changes.
That's fine.
They get it budgeted.
Yeah, I got it.
Filed.
And I got it.
And the only thing he needs with that, once you make that correction, Mr. John, if I'm understanding, he needs a W-9 form and an invoice.
Yeah, we got this thing, and we got the W, we'll get the W-9.
Okay, and all that match up.
He's already turned in the W-9.
You got all that, right?
Yeah, and the other guy has his.
I
don't have one here, He'll come to you.
We done two checks,
2 checks.
one to Harder
Yes,
and one to
Newsom,
Newsom,
yes,
2 checks.
Yeah,
yes.
we'll have it there too, okay?
In the amount of what, please, Diane? Should we, I should say something like that, see, $1,800?
I think over it is $1,800. And the price was $600.
So, hold on, Mr. Bradford, I got a quick question. So, just for clarity, going forward, if all of us were entitled to the same money, why do I have to report back to each other council about what I'm spending in my
It
money?
seems like what I'm doing.
Right, exactly. So don't nobody go to crying when I speak about other districts.
I want to ask you a question.
Listen, this is what I said.
Sure.
For clarity,
Mhm.
if all of us is entitled to some money, why do I have to report of that $55,000? Why do I have to report back to each district what I'm spending with my $55,000?
Record keeping all that.
But listen, record keeping is not with the council, it's with the clerk. So why I have to tell you what I'm spending?
Look, I don't think you should have to come back to council, just do it, we need to do a correct, no, we keep the record.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm asking, do we have to do that without $55,000? I'm sorry.
That's something we have to establish, we don't, we have to vote. I don't, either way, it doesn't matter to me, but it needs, for record keeper, for the city government funding, we need to keep a record. But if we don't wanna meet, that's up to the council, we need to decide that this is the way we wanna do it.
Well, I think regardless of however we disperse money, it's gonna always come with, black and white. It should, no matter what.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's record keeping, but the reason I ask because sometimes, and I'm gonna go back to this meeting, to last meeting, even you guys, B and C spoke about my dumpsters. What I'm doing with my money, I don't think it's fair because
I don't think that's what I just
it's big. You and James said something about my dumpsters. So what I said is, I don't think it's fair, both you guys. But I don't think it's fair because when you came up here and want to do something with your money, I never spoke one word on it.
I don't think I spoke on yours either, because I want to dump.
That's what y'all said.
I
I didn't say y'all spoken on bad. Y'all was just saying something about my dumpster. I said, hey, I'm not doing it impossible. If you want to get it done, you can get it done. But I don't think that, you know, we represent our district. We should be able to do what we feel is best for our district.
We need to put that for the council, how we going to distribute the money and that the rest of the person. We didn't stipulate that.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind being transparent. I just want to make sure it's all the way across the board.
I agree with you. I think 100%.
So where are we? Where are we?
It's resolved now.
I think what the councilman is saying, everybody else, some people don't spend portions of their money. They didn't get scrutinized about how they spent their money. And I don't think Ms. Tappan needs to be scrutinized about how she is spending her money. It was just a miscommunication. I'm gonna be nice about using the right words. So like Mr. Green says, his district, Mr. Locke district, my district, District B, and Ms. Angela district, and Mr. Bradford district. I don't think we should be in the business of scrutinizing what a person does with his own district, with his own money. Because when y'all gave the money to Robinson Williams, I don't think nobody scrutinized it as like it's being scrutinized right now. That's
I
what I'm
was in
saying.
every document, hold on, Green, I was in every document that they asked for with Robert Williams.
That's irrelevant. What I'm saying, it wasn't debated up amongst the council.
It was, you can't, I'm not before the council.
I said it wasn't debated as it's like.
I'm not debating, I'm just saying it's clarity. I mean, you know, I'm a fan of
Also too, I think that this situation, I think it was just a scenario that took place that we gotta correct going forward. When Mr. Bradford and I spoke, we spent time on it, we get our CA, I give it credit.
She did the same CEA that y'all done. That's what I'm trying to get. It should be uniform. So if y'all did the same CEA, why did she come against this problem and y'all did it? I'm glad you asked that question. It's the same CEA that Mr. Bradford done that you done. But now she does the same CEA done by the same attorney that represent the same city, but she faced opposition when she comes to get her money.
Mr. Green, I think there's some error made in this particular individual case.
But hold up, let me finish. Point of information, that was rectified last Friday. The attorney just said he rectified the problem last Friday. Am I not right or wrong, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Okay. The problem was rectified last Friday, and he came to get paid this week, so it shouldn't have been a problem.
I'm not getting any favor. I'm gonna make it short for the I ain't getting any favor. I ain't getting no favor.
I think what Ms. Tappan want to know is why wasn't the man paid and all the proper document was there? So we won't be having this problem again. We don't want to be picking and choosing who we pay and who we put obstacles in front of. I think it needs to be fair across the board.
Okay. I see how it went. If she did the CA just like we did, we didn't have no problems, not fair political problem.
To the credit of the administration of processing paperwork, I can offer the assurance that nobody was picking and choosing. When records have to be filed and when auditors call for certain documentation, and if there's a discrepancy anywhere, it's better to be called here because it involved the Cabela's test. That is what brought us here after I had Attorney Jones on the phone. And as you see the document, Attorney Jones said, just draw a line through the name. Which one of the gentlemen?
Parker presented for payment.
Okay. Could have been paid yesterday.
But what did he say? He said,
But it involved a Cabela's test after I talked to Mr. Jones.
but nobody
don't
called
speak
him back,
about
right? See, and I guess that's why I have number 2 on that to make. If anything is wrong with the CA, I think, administration or Ms. Monson needs to let us know this is missing from the CEA. We cannot make payment. The guy had to tell me he didn't get payment. I didn't know.
That's a good point.
So now he's gone, I'm sure elsewhere, talking about the city of Ashford, because we didn't pay him. The clerk or the mayor or somebody from the city of Ashford should have let me know this was going on.
I agree.
Yeah, because I guess the question would be, was the problem identified before he came and made the payment? And it had to be because David said that he was made aware of it before he went out of town. So even at that moment, it should be some type of transparent with the council member that's in that particular district, so to correct the matter, instead of correcting the matter when the guy come out here and pick up his money. So I guess that'll be something we need to talk about now, because if it's a problem with the CEA, then why not speak?
The gentleman could have been paid yesterday after the conversation
That was-
with Attorney Jones and the line, just passing through the line, through the name, and it was cleared up. And this is a CEA, what transpired in the meeting and what was actually signed. That's being transparent. Is making sure everybody is on the same page. Nobody is slighting anyone. No one.
Well, the problem was done Friday. Mr. Jones said he rectified the problem and he sent it to you guys Friday,
Sir,
if I'm not mistaken. He said he sent it to you Friday. So if Friday fall into next week, why wasn't it rectified by Wednesday when the man came up here, whenever he came by to get paid? So that is the problem. The attorney rectified the problem. He notified the proper people, and the proper protocol should have been done to allow the man to get paid. So the problem is we're trying to solve this problem so we won't continuously have this problem down the road, because you don't want somebody to do the job, then they come up here and get paid, and they don't get paid. What I'm saying is we got to do our due diligence to make sure everything is right. And when the attorney tells the mayor and the clerk that the error that was made and tell them how to go about addressing the problem and rectifying it, there's no need for it to be prolonged. It should have been it should have occurred Monday. It should have been fixed Monday. So when he came up here, he should have got paid. This is totally unnecessary.
And please let that councilman
To the
know.
credit of the administration and processing the paperwork, it is true. Conversation was held with Attorney Jones. Attorney Jones was out of town. As the clerk proceeded to process the information, she made the observation of some other things, which is part of a process. And we're all human, subject to human error. So she made me aware of it. She felt uncomfortable, and then there is a such thing as segregation of duties. She didn't want to make the change and then process that. So because this is a CEA that was agreed upon, we wanted to take it back through to make sure, talk to Mr. Jones. This meeting was requested, but he could have been paid.
Now, we couldn't, he's out of town. He came to get his money before he went out of town. So we couldn't have paid him yesterday regardless. He's not even here.
After the clerk had clarity to the comfort level, and as well as a clear, precise understanding of who was getting paid for what. This check could have been cut yesterday.
I think that the purpose of this meeting is for transparency going
Future
forward.
reference.
Yeah, because if and you're right, everybody having mistakes, just like Mr. Bradford said, we need to put something in place so we can have this going forward. So we won't have to have these long drawn out dialogues. So because it is slightly, I ain't gonna say slightly, it is embarrassing for somebody to do the work for you, then come in expecting to get paid and not get paid. So this is what we address the problem. This is what we need to fix it. So we can do what we have to do going forward. I don't know, Mr. Anderson, you can offer him an apology on behalf of.
I have apologized, so,
You have, okay.
yes.
Do we need to make a motion on anything tonight?
It's all cleared up.
I don't see where this is, anything for any action to be taken except correcting documents, and everybody's clear, everybody's on the same page.
If I can,
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to make a motion to the future that we want to not have to come before the councilman with the money that already been allocated to each council, for the councilman, each district, but go ahead and go forward, so they present the proper documents to the clerk for payment.
And the city attorney.
That's what city attorney.
Because it's gonna provide with the CA.
Are you
So all CA have to be,
That's very approved by the council. There's a
That
contract.
gotta be approved by the council.
Yeah.
They just approve their contracts.
Contract that.
I'm making a motion, I guess I need a second.
It's gotta come before.
See, all
Oh, it have to come back before the council.
yeah, all
Oh,
CA.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you tried to say,
Yeah, I see you going, we trying to save the stuff, we can't hear it.
but it do have to come back before.
Yeah, it has to come.
They have to come back to the council for authorization.
Okay, no, that's what Rob Wooten came back for the council. And the other one that.
Yeah, and the cemetery as well, yeah, so you're right.
And the demolition, he came back.
It was worth a try.
Either way, no, they-
But speaking on dumpsters, I'm just saying.
Can I make a motion that we adjourn?
Yes.
Okay.
I say,
You have a motion to adjourn.
I say,
Ms. Austin is trying to take care of the time frame, and I really wish he would have been paid yesterday, because she came back today on a day scheduled to be off. I wish it could have happened yesterday, but,
Previous
I
motion.
better have a motion on the floor. I second. All in favor? Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
Hello, you ready?